Hi, and welcome to Wagon Wheel Wednesdays, where today Jen is going to take us through a wig design for our upcoming production of Always Patsy Cline. So Jen, how do you start your wig designs? Where do you begin?
How I begin with wig design for a show is first and foremost research. Not only do I have to research the script, read the script, also do character analysis for the script, but I also have to research the time period that the play is set in, or time periods. Sometimes we travel through time, so I have to keep that into consideration. So I also have to research nonfiction characters. If there's anyone from history, I have to then find resource images of that character to see what they look like in that time period. I also use Pinterest as a wonderful source for images. I have a huge catalog that's organized by different decades of all the different hairstyles you might be able to find in that particular time period. Okay, so now you might be asking yourself how long it takes to do an entire wig from beginning to end. Now, I typically average and tell people 3 to 5 hours per wig. Now, Patsy Cline's wig, because it's shorter and it's an easier style for me, it'll take on the low end of that 3 to 5 hours. There are some wigs that could take 10 to 12 hours. The more elaborate wigs that you'll have seen on stage that require an 18th century hairdo or a whimsical hairstyle that I'm not comfortable doing or have never done before. So they just take a lot longer to put together. So yeah, I roughly average 3 to 5 hours per wig. Some shows have 20 wigs in them. So you can imagine that I have my work cut out for me in the middle of a summer season when I only have 10 days to put up a show. My wig design for Patsy Cline is kind of unique because Patsy Cline was a person from history. And so what I decided to do was to pick a hairstyle that was a very iconic look for Patsy Cline that most of our audience could relate to and have a memory of her. Now, my first step for starting a wig is to first go through my abundant stock of wigs. After 10 years of doing wig designs for the Wagon Wheel, I've accumulated quite a large stock. So first I knew Patsy Cline was a brunette, and we're trying to replicate an image from the late 50s, early 60s. And like I said, it was a very iconic look for her. So I knew the length it needed to be. I knew the color it needed to be. So I went to my stock knowing the length and color, and I pulled out the best wig I had in my stock. And this is it. So how I keep my wigs in stock are completely unstyled. I like to call that the neutral state. That way, when I pull it out of stock, I know it's neutral. It can adapt to any hairstyle I want to give it. A tight curl, a loose curl, a straight style. So that's why I call this the neutral state. Completely no style at all. So once I found that wig, the next step is to then block the wig. Blocking the wig it's just the term that they use. It's putting it on this lovely canvas wig block. You see I've got several others here. This is a wig block. They come in different sizes based on your actor's head size. So blocking the wig is the process of putting that wig on symmetrically, making sure it's lined up and it's not crooked. And then this piece of ribbon here is holding down the lace. And there's a lace front on this wig. There are different types of wigs. This particular one is a lace front. It's got a very thin layer of lace, and the very front row of hair is tied on individually, hand by hand, so it looks like that hair is growing out of the actor's head. So lace front wigs are one of the higher quality wigs we like to use at the Wagon Wheel just because it looks a little more natural. There's another thing called a hard front wig, which is just that. It's a big, chunky, hard front with a bunch of hairs coming out, and it's really hard to disguise that hairline. So we have used this ribbon to keep that lace to lay flat, and by putting the pins all the way around it, it takes the pressure off that one particular area of the lace. The lace is very delicate and can rip easily. So this kind of spreads out the pressure when I start working on the wig and pulling at it. That's the point of blocking a wig. It's to protect the wig and also to keep it from shifting around on me. So my next step in the wig design, once I've chosen the wig and once I've blocked it and it's ready to go, I then have to take that research image and figure out how to replicate it, or at least get close to it. Maybe not exact It's just a source of inspiration to give us an idea that that is what we're going for. For Patsy Cline, I'll try to get closer to exact just because it's an iconic look. Now, Patsy Cline has always parted her hair toward the right, so I started with her part here on the left, and that is how we're going to start the setting of the wig. And when we say setting a wig, it's putting the wigs in a roller or in braids or whatever to achieve the ultimate style. So I'm going to show you how to set the wig next. This particular hairstyle I'm going to set in 3 sections. There are some more elaborate hairstyles that I will set in multiple sections. The reason why I do that is so I don't get overwhelmed and I don't lose track of the ultimate end look of this. So by setting it in sections, it helps me. Okay, so here are the tools that I need for this particular step. So I need the rollers. I also need setting lotion. Setting lotion you typically use on human hair, but I've found out that it works great when I'm still doing a synthetic wig set, that it keeps the hair more manageable and it keeps it all together on my roller really nicely. So I use setting lotion. I need my spray bottle because you want to do it wet. And I also use these papers, and the papers are kind of a magic trick, and this is actually a good trick for anyone who's doing hair rollers. It helps keep the ends of your hair nice and neat so they don't get kinked. If anyone has ever done a roller and you get that really kinky end, it's just not very pretty. So these keep those ends nice and straight and neat in a perfect little curl. There are 2 types of wigs. There are synthetic hair wigs and there are human hair wigs. Now, the Wagon Wheel typically uses synthetic hair wigs for a number of reasons. They are innately cheaper. They nowadays look really real, almost like they are human hair wigs, and they memorize their shape once I'm done setting it. So the reason why the Wagon Wheel doesn't use human hair wigs is because A, they're very expensive, and B, human hair is subject to humidity and sweat and the stress of a show. So they just cannot withstand a 11 show run at the Wagon Wheel. Okay, so now I'm ready to set the back part of the wig. I'll start by spraying it down so it's nice and wet and the hair is easier to manage. And then I will apply the setting lotion and I will show you how to do one curl, and then off we go into time lapse. Okay, so I'm putting some setting lotion in. Remember I said that it really helps me manage the hair. It makes it a little more grippier. It's got essentially like a kind of a wet gel in it. I'm going to show you one curl and then off we go. So I take my paper and I wrap that around the ends. I take my roller and I scoot that paper all the way down to the ends so it doesn't create a fold. And then that paper really helps me get that hair onto the roller without the ends popping out and getting kinked. I can then also take the tail of my rat tail comb and make sure I get all those little loose ends in and kind of roll them back on the roller. That helps, again, keep the ends from getting kinked. So once I've got one roller in place, I'll start layering my bricks and you'll see how it goes. Okay, so now I'm finished with the back. You can see the rollers are all alternating like bricks. Okay, so now I'm ready to start with the sides and the front part of the hairstyle and setting it. I will go back to my research image and really look to see how that hair is laying, what direction it's laying, how far forward it wants to come. And most hairstyles are identified by the front part of the hairstyle. Okay, so the set is now complete. You will see the different color rollers doesn't mean anything. It's just a different brand. They're the exact same size. So that's the brick laying in the back. The sides and front are set a little more off the face to get kind of a side swoop going on, and then this side is set back. So that is the final set for the Patsy Cline wig. Okay, so now that we have finished the set, it is now time to steam the wig. Now remember, I said this was a synthetic wig, and how we put heat on synthetic hair to form a curl is different than human hair. With human hair, we're safe to use dry heat, a hot hair dryer or a curling iron, but we can't do that with synthetic hair because synthetic hair really is just extruded plastic polymers. So that's exactly why we're steaming. We are heating up those plastic polymers so they can create a new shape, and then when it cools off, it memorizes that shape. So what I'm going to do is take this lovely steamer. It's an industrial steamer with a different head on it. You'll have seen these before, but for garments, they have that flat head on it. This one is a nice cylindrical tube that shoots a narrow stream of steam, so I can focus it on the inside of each roller. So I'm kind of steaming the curl from the inside out. So you can imagine I have to make sure each roller gets about 30 seconds worth of steam, so I know it takes. There's nothing worse than having to take out an entire set and realizing that one curl did not take because I didn't steam it long enough. So it's an important part of the process to make sure I get it right. So that's the next step, steaming. Okay, now I'm done steaming the wig. I really hope that I got every single roller steamed properly. And now it has to cool down entirely. In fact, I don't like to take it out of the rollers until it is bone dry. So at this point, I typically leave her overnight to let her dry really well. Sometimes I'll expedite the process by putting her under a dryer, which I'm gonna do for you. And then I will be back to see you tomorrow when we can style her. Hi again. So now that the wig is cooled and dried completely, it's the fun part, the styling. Watch it all come together. So you'll see a time lapse of me taking out all the rollers and starting to style it, and I'll show you the end result when we're done. Okay, so here is the finished styling of the Patsy Cline wig. You'll probably notice if you were to do a side-by-side of the image that it's not exact. That's not the point. The point is to really try to mimic the profile of the hairstyle so that it looks a lot like Patsy Cline. It's not identical, but pretty darn close. So now we get to see the wonderful Kira Lace Hawkins don this wig, and I have no doubt she's gonna look fabulous.
Hi everybody, I'm Thomas Hall, and I will be music directing Always Patsy Cline here at the Wagon Wheel Center for the Arts in about 5 weeks. Right now we're in the process of beginning to learn some music, and we have about 30 numbers to start putting on our voices so that we can really bring a character to life and bring some really great music to the stage and to our community.
I fall to pieces. Time only adds to the flame.
Good, let's go back right there. So the I fall to pieces, maybe more is there for sure. Each time someone do a fall there from someone speaks. Do
Speaks your name.
Yep, a little bit of that thing that she does a lot there. It's written as straight, but she would have fallen on it for sure. In our process of rehearsing, we're really taking time to examine not only the instrumental side of this creation of country music, but also really looking at how we are going to develop the sound that Kira will be able to use for portraying Patsy Cline. We're going to look at specific colors that Patsy used on certain numbers, as well as vowel choices that she makes stylistically in all of her music, and really beginning to examine the stories that she was telling, and then trying to figure out how to bring all of these pieces together to bring to life a voice that has just been sitting in our culture for decades. I stopped to see a weeping willow. Use more of that color in there a little bit. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard because you're allowing the folds to sit a little differently. See a weeping willow crying. Right there on the word crying again. Mm-hmm. The hard part about coaching someone to sound like someone else is finding a vocabulary that is consistent for me as the coach, but also for the performer. But then also really listening to the iconic person and saying, what are key elements that we're going to pull out of it? Those are a little more, just try these things and immediately you sound more like that artist if you implement them correctly. Let's start right there at I stop.
I stopped to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Baby, he's crying for me. And as the sky turns gloomy, night winds whisper to me.
Over the next 5 weeks, I'm really looking forward to digging in sort of to some of my roots and hearing music that I grew up on throughout my family. Also, just getting to work with some really great local artists who are professional and make me up my game. So it's an exciting thing that we're able to do here in our community and to work together with some great colleagues. So we hope that you'll join us as we bring Always Patsy Cline to the stage here at the Wagon Wheel. Yeah.
Hello everyone, Kira Lace Hawkins here with one more acting exercise for you all on this Wagon Wheel Wednesday. Today I'm going to show you something called an open scene. Open scenes are a tool that I use in every acting class I teach. The given circumstances are created by the two actors putting on the scene. So today I'm going to show you an open scene 3 different ways. My friend Jennifer Dow is back, and first we're going to perform the scene not knowing at all who we are or what's going on in the scene, and then twice more, each with different circumstances. For this first performance, we just simply read the scene as it's written on the page.
Hey,
Hello.
you know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So,
So what?
come on.
It's not ready yet.
I know that's a lie.
I swear.
Please.
That doesn't change my answer.
Fine.
Yep. For this second scene, Jen and I came up with the following given circumstances. I am playing a boss who has just made a decision on a promotion. Jen is playing a worker in the company who assumes she's getting the promotion. My character has already given the promotion to somebody else. So here's the scene in that promotion setting.
Hey,
Hello.
you know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So,
So what?
come on.
It's not ready yet.
I know that's a lie.
I swear.
Please?
That doesn't change my answer.
Fine.
Yep. For our second set of circumstances, Jen and I decided that we would take a trip to a pizza shop. So here I am playing a worker behind a counter. Jen is a customer coming into the pizza shop. She can plainly see her order sitting there waiting for her to pick up, and my character is a little too busy texting to get that done.
Hey,
Hey.
you know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So?
So what?
Come on.
It's not ready yet.
I know that's a lie.
I swear.
Please?
That doesn't change my answer.
Fine.
Yep. So those are our examples today of open scenes, a great tool for actors who want to practice the idea of taking on given circumstances and making the scene work. We'll be posting this scene on our website, so if you want to try your hand at filling in the given circumstances into an open scene, you can download that script off of our website and have fun acting with your favorite at-home scene partners. Thanks so much for watching.